three generally accepted principles of justice. Social justice implies that persons have an obligation to be active and productive participants in the life of a society, and that society has the obligation to make that possible for them. A quick example, the Jim Crow South, when blacks had the right to vote but could not exercise it. So that would have been a violation of social justice. Commutative justice calls for fundamental fairness in all agreements or exchanges between individuals or private social groups. So any of your contracts would be examples of social justice. But here's the kicker for those of us involved in justice issues of the nature of nuclear disarmament. Distributive justice requires, and I'm going to read this so I don't get it wrong, that the allocation of income, wealth, and power in society be evaluated in light of its effects on persons whose basic material needs are unmet. Minimum material resources are an absolute necessity for human life. And as one of my colleagues at Notre Dame used to say, this is where the rubber hits the road. So keep that in mind. I'd like to follow with just some ethical assumptions. In other words, these are not necessarily universally accepted principles, but they underlie everything that I believe about our approach to these issues. Every human person has dignity and value. All of creation is profoundly valuable. There is an intrinsic connectedness between human life and creation. Governments are obliged to provide genuine, inclusive human security. Weapons powerful enough to put humanity and creation at risk should be prohibited. The massive expenditure on nuclear armaments represents a theft from the poor and a threat to the environment and to the world's natural resources. The investment of human creativity and material resources in the production of nuclear weapons makes other economic problems more difficult to solve. The arms race forces developing countries to use scarce resources to buy planes, guns, and other weapons, while they lack the food, education, housing, and health care that their own people need.